We've all been there. You find yourself stressing about something that might happen, but it hasn't yet.
But how do you know?
I know.
Yeah, right? It's like your brain is trying to solve a puzzle, but with missing pieces.
Oh, I love that we're talking about this topic. You're going to hear the passion in my voice about this. So there was this psychologist. She was being interviewed on the Demoted podcast, and she was asked what was the best piece of advice that was ever given to her. And so she said that her mom, she was really sick in the hospital. She didn't know if she was going to live or not. And so she was stressing out. She was spiraling. And a really good friend of hers who was an oncologist, and so he had, of course, been around a lot of death and seen kind of the end of life just from his patients. He gave her this advice. Take a listen.
He said, Emily, the version of you that will handle that terrible thing if and when it happens will be born into existence in that moment. And that version of you will have more life experience and more context and more ability to handle that thing than you do now. It makes sense that you don't know what you would do if your mom dies because the version of you that will figure it out doesn't exist yet. You have to trust your future self to handle future problems.
Boom. Oh. Right? So this works for big
Chills.
and little things. And so she said that her mom ended up making it out of the hospital anyway. So all of that anxiety and worry was for nothing. It was wasted energy. So it's essentially saying that you have to trust that your future self has your back.
It's so funny because Frankie and I joke about this more with like fun things. Like
Same.
Like if we would Frankie bought his truck and we were like, we'll let future Heather and Frank figure it out. We know we'll figure it out. Right. We got it. But or like if we stay up too late or whatever the case, we'll let future Heather and Frank figure it out. Right. But we talk about it like we're not that person yet. And when it happens, we'll figure it out. Like
I love that you guys know this concept already because it's not something that, I mean, I'm sure I've done this before, but
I've justified it's not good. It's not good in my world.
The anxiety and the worry that I have about things that may happen in the future and all of the planning that goes into that, because I need to figure out A, B, and C. If A, B, and C happens, I need to be ready for each
scenario.
Yeah, scenario.
This just came into my life. It is so ironic that we're talking about it. I am an only child. I've mentioned 1,000 times. We had an estate meeting with my parents a couple weeks ago, and we were sitting there and we were all on Zoom, and I'm talking to this lawyer and she's telling me about what would happen in the event that one of my parents would die and then I would take over and blah, 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 blah. And I just start looking over and I said, I should have come with questions. I'm so sorry. And she said, have you never thought about this? I said, just every day since the day I was born. Because, because you think about how, there's no way that I'll be able to handle this. And how am I not going to have a brother or sister to say, there's all this paperwork. It is so much ridiculous worry.
It is.
Because it is going to happen because that is life. But no, right now, I shouldn't know. I haven't been through it.
It all comes from not being you don't want to get caught off guard.
That's it.
I don't like that feeling.
No.
But it's life.
We had a life coach on PTL, it was yesterday, and she was talking about resilience. And it was this using flexibility and adjusting to situations as they happen and being prepared to kind of stretch in those situations.
Yes.
And I think, and out of that flexibility, she said, resilience is born. And I do think if you look back in your life, in your timeline of all of these big moments, good or bad, that have happened, when you've kind of risen to the occasion, you realize that you became a new person when those things happened. So it makes so much sense. It was really cool to hear her talk about it in that way.
Yes. Gives me so much comfort.
It really does. With just a little life experience, that's all it takes. Future Kelly, get to it.
Get to it, Cal.